So you're doing good so far? How many of you are nervous? Yeah. This is a no holds barred look at you from the eyes of first-time visitors. And so I'm going to dig right into this because I got a lot to cover with you. And this whole assessment is us secret shopping you since a week from this morning. So we've been here, somebody's already came up and said, Roger, how did you find anything to do after 7 days? Actually, we ran out of time because once you start digging, you find some pretty cool stuff. By the way, there was no interviews, no heads up. The chamber, Nancy, nobody gave us anything. So we just came in just like any other visitor. So there was no input on anything. Okay? We wore 3 hats when we did this. We looked at you, is this a place we'd want to raise a family or retire? Is this a place we'd want to live in? We also looked at you from the eyes of a site selector, so economic development, commercial real estate agent, somebody looking for a place to invest. And we looked at you as a place to visit, but for more than a day trip. So, doing this, we have assessed more than 1,500 communities around the world. I mean, it's probably the #1 thing we've done, 45 states, all that stuff. And when we do this, and we've done about 40 in Wisconsin, so all 9 of them in Door County. We did all 15 of the Fox cities. I mean, there's quite a bunch right there and a bunch of other ones. We looked at your marketing effectiveness. Was it easy to find information? Was it good enough? And we're talking about communities, the county. We're looking at all this kind of information. Was it good enough to close a sale? How did you stack up to the competition? And I'm telling you, where you're located, it is tough competition. I mean, you got to compete against Door County, which they know in Indianapolis. You're competing against Appleton and what they know. You're competing against Green Bay. You have a ton of competition. And was it convenient to get information? And I'm not going to talk a whole lot about marketing. I am going to talk about our on-site assessment, what we did over this last week. Signage, your gateways, wayfinding. I mean, we're going to do this. Overall appeal, did it get us to stop? Critical mass, explain that. Your amenities, was there places to park? Were there restrooms? Was there information? Attractions, what is there to see and do? And then customer service. So I'm quickly going to tell you where all we went, then I'm going to dig in, just so you know where we did. And I'm not going to, normally what I would do is say, well, here was our experience in Bonduelle, and I would go through that one, then I'd go community to community. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you where we went, and then I'm going to dig into some major initiatives that will include everybody. So, Monday, when we got here, we did come off the freeway, we did see the visitor center, and we were so impressed that those doors are open 24/7. And we went, yes, because that's what we preach everywhere. And as a matter of fact, we went back during the evening hours, and it was still open, and it was awesome. And it's really a great first impression if you come off that exit off of 29. Tuesday, we dug in. We went down to Navarino. Am I pronouncing that right? Okay, Navarino Nature Center or the Wildlife Preserve. We walked some of the trails. In your marketing, some of the things you might want to tell us is that, boy, you better bring some off because the bugs are intense. And Jean scraped her shin on something, and we're going, okay, we should have wore long pants, we should have, because some of this is pretty rugged, but it's beautiful out there. And so we saw the interpretive displays, and we went through and saw, we didn't walk all the trails, but we spent several hours out there. While we were out there, we did go into Tigerton. Am I pronouncing that one right? I figured it was Tigerton when we saw that the mascot for the high school was the Tigers. It wasn't the Tigers. And so we did see the historical part there, and I'm going to come back to all of this stuff. While we were driving around, we saw marketing for an Embarrass River RV park, and we get there, it's an ATV park and an RV park. So there were some mixed messages in some of the marketing there. It got to be about lunchtime, and so we thought, okay, this looks kind of fun. By the way, we use TripAdvisor as the most visited travel website on the planet. So we saw Rocks for Fun pasty shop. So we went there, but it was shut on Tuesdays. But we thought that was pretty cool, seeing the six-pack there. Kind of a fun, funky place. So we were driving around, and we settled on lunch at Rachel's, a roadside bar and grill. And by the way, it was great. So we did stop there. We found it easy. Then we went into Newski's. Am I pronouncing that right? See, I mispronounced it the first time on purpose. And we went into Newski's, and that was fantastic. We still have, as a matter of fact, we gained quite a bit of weight from Newski's. And then we did see the murals in Wittenberg, and the walls of Wittenberg, which we thought were fantastic. And usually, I kind of go, murals, really? But these are fantastic. We saw I call it the art park there. I just want to let you know we're there. Then we did see Maple Hills Golf Course. This is just really quick overview of all the stuff. We went out, saw the Ho Chunk Gaming, the casino there. We ended up in Eland because we read somewhere that's the confluence of two of your trails. So we saw the little historic depot there. We went into Burnhamwood. And just yell at me if I mispronounce anything. We went into Mattoon, and we're glad to see that but by the way, I could probably take this one down. It's not doing you any favors. And we saw this interesting place. We don't know what it is or what you do there. I'll come back to that. We also made it into Bowler. Great gateway sign. We went over to the Menominee Nation. I wish the Q store wasn't here in front of this sign. I wish it was somewhere else.
Mohican Nation.
Oh, is that the Mohican? Oh, you're right. That's the Mohican. Sorry, wrong one. Jumping ahead of myself. So we went there. We did see the casino there. Looks fabulous. Looks really nice. And then we went out to Pine Hills out there and looked at that beautiful golf course out there. We did make it to Gresham. And by the time we got to Gresham, by the way, that's a lot of stuff to read. And we still have a space though, by the way. And then we did eat at the Bad Habit. I expected to see the people inside dressed in like red, habits, or something that would be bad. But so we did eat there. It was a nice little bar, and that's where we caught some locals saying, yeah, I'm going to head over to Shawano. And I wanted to say, Shawano! But I didn't. After we ate dinner there, we did go and we looked at Pella, and it was getting about dusk, and we caught a beautiful sunset at Pella. So that kind of finished up Tuesday, and I'm going to dig into all of this stuff. Wednesday, we went out, and now we started at the Menominee. We started right here. But then we heard that it's some really great rafting. So we went up 55 all the way into the next county. We did go to Big Smoky Falls, which is fabulous. Even if you're not rafting, this place is one of the most beautiful places I've seen in Wisconsin. I mean, and I kind of went, if somebody rafts down this, they're dead. And they said, no, they stopped right on the other side. Well, I was saying, what if they slip under this bridge, But anyway, really phenomenal. We did go up to Shotgun Eddy Raft Rental up there. He was giving people, lessons on what to do when they go down the river, which I thought was really cool. And then we slipped into the next county. We didn't spend much time up there at Wild Wolf Inn and Herbs Reynolds. So then we came back down. So we looked at that, pretty phenomenal. We went around the lake, and we did see the county park. And then we did see Shawano Lake Golf Course. We went into Cecil. I just want to give you the rounds that we you know what? Avis I'm not sure how much they like me anymore, because most people, when they rent a car, they put on 50 miles or anything. I bring a car back and I drove it 2,000, We started in Milwaukee, by the way. That's where we flew into. So we did see Golden Sands, and then we had lunch that day at the Village Lantern. We were the youngest people there. But the food was good. They played 1950s music. I'm going, you probably want to, maybe even us boomers like a little newer, And so then we went down to Bonduelle, and it took us a while to pronounce that right because it's spelled Bonduelle. But we did go to Bonduelle, saw some great shops there, and yes, we had to go to Docks. It's like the institution in the county that we saw. And of course, I had to take a picture of the Harley-powered picnic table. Just one of those. And we did see lots of barn quilts, which are fabulous. So for dinner on Wednesday, we ate at Luigi's. Okay, which was great. And by the way, we were thrilled because if there's 100 restaurants in the county, I swear 94 of them must be bars and saloons. After a while, how much bar food can you eat? And so we were great to have Luigi's there. It was great. Thursday, we started to come more in. We checked out the high school, which looked fabulous. We checked out the park next to the high school. We found this is the elementaries. You found several schools. On Wednesday night, even down in our hotel, we could hear the roar of a race going on. So then we did check that out Thursday just to see where it was happening, the Speedway and the fairgrounds. And then we also went in American Marine because, like in the visitor's guide, they bought like 10 pages of ads. And so we had to check that out, and it made me want to buy a boat. And then we went to check out the airport. We never did find the main building. We found a place for scenic flights and instruction, but we never did find wherever the main building is there. And yes, of course, we went over to Twigs and Sundrop and had to spend some time in the tasting room. We went and saw Smalley Park, and as a former avid water skier we built pyramids of people. We were so busy Wednesday, we missed the Ski Shark show. Did it happen? Did it happen on Wednesday? Okay, you were there, good. So we missed that. So I'm really mad that I missed it. We did go to the Heritage Park and saw the buildings there. And the one thing we noticed in Shawano is that you like to put lots of road constructions in front of your major attractions in the middle of the peak months. Try going to Sundrop, try going here. And all these constructions like half a block. So we did manage to wind our way through all that. We did find Sturgeon Park. We ate lunch that day at El Tequila. And we did go down and saw some places it says US Air, some places it says USA International. So we did see this place. We tried, by the way, for days to find the Amish. And we didn't have any luck. So finally, when we were at the Heritage Park, one of the ladies there said, well, you ought to go out to the Lark Country Store. So we drove back out there and found the Lark Country Store, which was fantastic. We did spend time in downtown, and we ate at the Farm Inn? Downtown. Then Friday, we kind of went back and did a reconnaissance. We looked at all of these different things. We had made a list of things that we need to look at. We looked at websites, visitor guides, anything we could. And so we looked at all of this stuff. So Friday we did did we miss anything? We also that day, I took 800 photographs, and you're gonna see them all. Kidding. But so these are all some of the things that we saw, and a lot of these I'm gonna talk about. And so we really wanted to make sure that we really felt we knew these two counties, or at least from a visitor's perspective without any outside input, and all of these towns. There were some interesting things like the petting zoo. We really made the rounds. So Then Friday evening, we ate at Classics. And it was really cool. That was really good food because we had to do a fish fry. Then Saturday, we went out and we started at Angie's. And by the way, Angie's Main Cafe, we met these people at Classics. He graduated from Shawano 50 years ago. They had their class reunion this weekend. And so, I mean, they were telling us, well, this is the way it was when I lived here. And so we got the scoop on how it used to be compared to today. And it was pretty fascinating. So it was funny running into them again. We did attend your farmer's market, which we thought was exceptional. It was very good. And then we saw a little place and we did some more shopping. So we did shopping, farmer's market, more shopping. We ate lunch at Bubba's Barbecue Company, and it was good. It was, I mean, I didn't expect it to be good, but it really was. We did go into galleries, did even more shopping, and then Saturday, we went out to the powwow. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic. And it was crazy. And you know what's cool is even though we've been doing this for like 30 plus years, Jane, my wife back there, finally had her very first fry bread. Finally, after all these years. And you can see she's got, you got the powdered sugar up there. I did that just to embarrass her. But then when we were in one of the stores downtown, what is it, Tell the Cows Come Home, is that what it's called? The gal in there says, you know what, there's a sunflower festival. I mean, the locals were helping us out, and we didn't tell them why we were here or what we were doing. I mean, I was carrying around a big honking camera, but so she told us about this. We went out and found it phenomenal, just phenomenal. And even though we spent days and days and days trying to find Amish homes and farms and shops and everything, we at least finally found one of the buggies. So then that night we ate at the Torchlight, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful building, and we had a great time there. Then yesterday, we had to put all this together. It takes 15 hours to put the presentation you're seeing together. So our hotel room turned into an office. We went to Walmart, bought a table for Jane. We had printers and scanners and monitors, and I mean, it was big. Big setup in there. I think the housekeepers going, what the heck are they doing in here? But the big questions we were asking, what can we suggest to make you a stronger destination? What can we suggest out of this? And how can we stretch your seasons even during the weekdays during the summer? And then how do we get visitors into these smaller towns? I mean, Shawano's kind of is, third of your population, and it's right on the lake in Cecil. And so we said, how do we spread people out? I mean, going to Bonduel is pretty easy, but going to Wittenberg is like a different country to a visitor. It's like 35 miles away. And then how do we get Shawano Country on the map as a sought-after destination? By the way, look at that. Visitors spend 4 times more than day trippers. So you know what? If I live in Green Bay, half an hour, I just go home. If you can get heads in beds overnights, 4 times the spending. And then what can be done to make it a better place to live and work? And I want to just start with a few little facts, and I'll run through these pretty quickly. Number 1, tourism is the purest form of economic development. People come, spend money, and go home. If you get the right kind of visitors, you don't have to police them, you don't have to herd them, they will spend money and go home. It helps offset the leakage. Like I said earlier, when we ask locals, where do you go spend your time? Where do you do your shopping? And they'll say Walmart, or they'll say, I go to Walgreens, or. But other than that, they will say, oh, we go to Appleton, then Green Bay. Number 2, tourism is the front door to your non-tourism economic development. Anybody coming here to establish a business, whether it's a site selector, it doesn't matter, non-tourism, they come here first as what? A visitor. Is the place they'd want to live. Their employees would want to live. Their client would want to live. I mean, there you go. And number 3, you got to get people to stop. How do you get people off of 29 if they're passing through? If you can get them to spend 2 hours, spending doubles. 2 hours. And then overnight visitors spend 4 times more. Okay? And then the best attractions are private sector. You must promote your local businesses. I mean, all those places, private sector. So at the end of the day, we sat there with these 5 questions and these facts, and we came up with 5 primary initiatives.